We are Man vs. Meeple, and for August 28th through September 10th, this is What's Next.
Welcome back to What's Next, the bi-weekly show where David and I walk you through all the games coming out to your friendly local gaming store. Gen Con's over.
The dust has settled.
It has settled a little bit. A whole lot of games are now hitting retail that were at the show. I'm going to start with number 5. This one is called Immortals. It is by Queen Games. It is a re-implementation of Shogun and Wallenstein, both games by Dirk Henn. However, this one's being also contributed by Mike Elliott. If you don't know Mike Elliott, look on BGG. Yeah. He's done like a million games.
He's done a couple.
So anyway, this is an area control style game that uses a cube tower. That cube tower, you're going to put cubes in, and what falls out, so that kind of controls the mechanism and when you can use certain actions. However, the hook in this game is that you have a board in front of you, and you have a light side and a dark side. They are mirror realms of one another. When a unit dies on one side, it goes to the other side. So what you're trying to do is balance both of these different locations. You also have 2 different factions, a light faction and a dark faction, each with different kind of abilities. Really cool looking game.
It's massive too.
It's a massive game. I love Shogun. Shogun's a fabulous game. It's been out for years and years, so excited to play this one.
Right. You've got number 4 too.
I do have number 4. This also is a re-implementation. This one's called Dragonfire. It is a re-implementation of Shadowrun Crossfire. It is a deck building, kind of a hand management style game, but this one's set in the D&D universe, which is really, really cool. What you're doing in this game is collecting cards, and they're using them to battle monsters in front of you. The hook on this one, though, is that it has a legacy aspect to it. There's a ton of different classes that you can be, but also there's stickers that you can collect as you go in different scenarios. You will collect these stickers and get powers that will be able to build up your character through the course of playing multiple different scenarios.
Very cool.
Yeah. 3. Yeah,
number 3 is kind of a re-implementation as well. This is The Roar.
We're on a roll here.
It's the week of re-implementations. The Roar is a re-implementation of Rushafart from, this one's from Capstone Games. This is the story of coal trade. If you've played Haspelknecht, this is a hard one to talk through.
Right.
That's the story of early coal mining. This one's the next game in that trilogy, and it kind of ramps up a little bit. Haspelknecht was kind of a lighter, not super light, but medium to light. This one's definitely medium and starting to gear towards heavy. This is trading. It's a pick up and deliver. It's got some worker placement, things you love. The coal in this one, actually, there's dice. But the dice aren't rolled in a lucky way. Sort of the dice represent different sort of qualities of coal.
That's cool.
So the higher the pip count on a die, the better the coal. You're going up and down the Roar River. The other cool thing, because it's from Capstone, located in Ohio, the flip side of the board on this version of the game is the Ohio.
So you get a free expansion with it.
Yes, yet another re-implementation.
That's cool. You have 2.
Yeah, number 2 is Downforce. Kind of
it's a remake. It's amazing.
It's a restoration, not a re-implementation.
Sure.
This is a racing game, but it's not just racing.
Right.
This is one where you're betting on the cars as well. So you have a hand of cards. You're playing these cards to sort of move all the cars. So you have a couple cars. When you at the beginning of the game, you bid and you sort of become a car owner.
Okay.
But during the race, everyone's controlling the card. So I might play a card that allows me to move 4 of the cars, different degrees. And basically what you're trying to do is jockey the cars around the track such that the bets that you're placing in the end are going to gain you the most money. It's not about winning the race with your car necessarily, because you could ultimately bet on other cars.
Right.
And you can kind of clog things up. So someone might have a big card to play with the red car, but you've put the red car behind another car where it basically can't move. So there's a lot of, not take that, but there's some play there with it really kind of ruins someone's play for a round. You bet like 3 times around the track at different stages because you can kind of like, okay, I see the yellow's in the lead now, I'm going to put some money on yellow. But it all depends on what you have in your hand, and you don't know what everyone else has in their hand.
Sounds cool. It's got a lot of really good buzz.
Beautiful components, too.
Yeah, it's a great looking game. Much bigger box than we thought, too.
Yeah, and the board is enormous.
Yeah.
Like, Restoration is really doing that with what seems like all of their games. The really hard, heavy cardboard, huge components, really nice presentation.
Last game is Bunny Kingdom. We actually had a chance to review this one already. It's from Yellow Games. It's from Richard Garfield, the creator of Magic and numerous other very popular games. It's got one of my favorite mechanisms in a game, and that is card drafting.
And it does it well.
It does it well. It's a very whimsical theme. You have a board in front of you that has 100 spaces, so you have a 10 by 10 grid. You're going to be taking 10 cards in your hand at the start of every round. There's 4 rounds. You're going to be taking 2 of those cards, passing the cards left, and then everyone uses those cards at the same time to place on the board or to keep them for a building action at the very end of a round. It's a fantastic game.
Yeah, the decision making in this game, like you said, you love card drafting, but this thing, I haven't played a drafting game in a long time that makes you really toil in a wonderful way over each decision, because you think you know what you're going to do, but you get cards, and even the more and more you play the game, the more and more decisions you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to give this card up, and I don't want to give it to him, but I really need this card. Awesome, awesome decision making.
Yeah, if the theme of the game turns you off,
don't let it.
Don't let it, please.
Yeah, it's a fantastic game.
It is. It is. All right, we've got questions from the viewers.
We're going to take some questions this week.
You have the first question.
Yeah, the first question comes from Halo X30, and this is, why only talk about 5 games and it's basically just Euro-style games? Too bad, because this segment has potential.
You called us out.
Well, I do appreciate that you think the segment has potential. We do too. But to answer your question about Euro games, I mean, first and foremost, we like to highlight some of the hot games that Jeremy and I look forward to, those games in our wheelhouse. Now, with that said, there's been plenty of times where we're not covering Euro-style games in our top 5.
Quite a bit.
This really comes down to games that we think will be of note to all sorts of players. And if there's a short list of 7 or so titles, and 5 of those, we have to narrow it down, and a lot of them are sort of in our wheelhouse, we probably will err on the side of those types of games. But you know, we choose all sorts of games that are not in the Euro category from time to time.
Yeah, absolutely. It depends on what's hot and what we feel is hot at that potential time. So, next question is from Charles G. I went to the Mox boarding house while I was in Seattle last month, purely based on your recommendation. It was a great store, and the staff were lovely and very helpful. Definitely a thumbs up for me. Thanks for the recommendation.
And a smiley face.
And a smiley face, that's correct. Yeah, we haven't been there yet.
No, we haven't been there. We've only seen pictures. We know people who have worked there.
Yeah.
I mean, this is great, and we're really happy that people are actually hearing what we're doing on What's Next, and then going to the store based on that. So, if you're a friendly local game store, the message here is, send us in some of your information. There may be people who actually listen to Jeremy and I from time to time and go into your stores.
And I'll put a link in the description below to that episode. So you guys, if you are a retailer and you're interested in making your store a more friendly or consumer-friendly atmosphere, take a look at what they've done. It's a really cool atmosphere for players and gamers and potential gamers.
Yeah, very nice location.
All right, check us out. In 2 more weeks, we'll have another What's Next for you guys.
I'm sure we'll have another slew of titles.
Yeah, all the Gen Con titles will be releasing soon. So subscribe to us, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and everything else that we do, and we will catch you guys next time.
Bye-bye.